Hello and welcome. I'm Oggy or Oggyerino and this is my Slide 2 Any% tutorial series. I will go through the game, not fully in depth, but I will show off the route, tricks, backups and skips. The videos will come out when I'm finished with them. Feel free to follow me on twitch.tv/Oggyerino and shoot me a sub here on YouTube. Now let's start this tutorial series with some general info. To perform the glitch high jump, also known as a triple jump, hold down square and immediately after spam X. The X input for this can be timed to get a controlled height as well as getting distance. There are a few ways you can place your hand on your controller to perform the glitch high jump. One way to do the glitch high jump is to use the tip of your thumb to hold square, and then use the interphalangeal joint crease, also known as the joint or bend of your thumb, to press X. The second way you can do the glitch high jump is to use the infamous claw grip. As you can see in the image shown, you use the index finger to hold down square and the thumb to press the X button. Personally, when I play, I have the normal controller grip, then I switch to claw grip to do glitch high jump and then switch back to do other tricks. This might be a little weird at first, but this will be pure muscle memory once you start doing it. So this is how it will look if you do the glitch high jump correctly. As you can see, the screen moves up a little bit once I do it. If you fail it a bit, it might look like this, where you think you got it, but you actually don't get any more height. You need to hold down the square button and then mash to get this. To accurately perform a square boost, you need to hit both X and square at the same time while running. This is a frame perfect trick. This is very basic slide 2 movement, so you will be using this a lot. The three most common ways to perform this trick is: number 1 is to hold your thumb on top of both buttons, then pressing it at the same time with equal amount of pressure. Way number 2 is to hold your thumb a little bit over the buttons, and then push down your thumb on top of the buttons, both buttons, at the same time, with equal amount of speed and pressure. Way number 3 is to use the claw grip and hold it like you were doing a glitch high jump. Press square and X at the same time with your thumb and your index finger. The two outcomes fake floor give us is either to go through a wall to hit a trigger so we can load into the next zone, or to die right after the cutscene starts so you skip it. To perform the fake floor trick, you need to find yourself an object where you can spiral jump on, or you can grab onto. Remember, not all objects work. Then super jump far enough away that the object will despawn. Then when you take damage, it will put you back onto the object, but you're in a state where the ground starts to become unsolid. Slide 2 has an autosave mechanic, so the game will autosave whenever you finish a mission. We use the loading function in this game to get quicker to the safe house. If you have good enough resets, you can reset to skip outro cutscenes, intro cutscenes, and cutscenes right before Bentley's slideshow. Since the game autosaves after the mission is done, you can reset the game to skip the cutscene. Remember that you have to check your resets. If you have good enough resets, you can skip the cutscenes. If you have a reset that is longer than the cutscene itself, you can obviously not skip it. Table clip is a trick that utilizes Sly's charging attack to get a major boost in a certain direction. The table clip works because Sly can charge his cane to do a spin attack, but the attack isn't stopped when Sly crawls under an object or into a crawling space. Therefore, when Sly crawls under an object or into a crawling space while doing the charging animation, Sly gets launched out from the object at significant speed, clipping through walls and hitting triggers. When starting to run Slide 2, you might wonder what's the fastest version / console. The fastest version / console is a combination between the drive, the console, and the version. For the consoles, you have the Fat PS2, Slim PS2, Fat PS3, Slim PS3, and Super Slim PS3. You can also run Slide 2 on the PS4, using the PS Now feature. I would not recommend using the PS Now feature for speedrunning. The load and resets are very long. and I've also heard that it can lag from time to time. When it comes to drive, you really have two options. It's HDD and SSD. The SSD is the fastest. You have to remember that read and write speed has to be high, also it has to be a SATA disk. If it's not SATA, you cannot use it in your PS3. The SSD size, when it comes to gigabytes, you can really choose yourself. 120 is really enough, but if you want to store more games and maybe speedrun other games, you want to go for the 250 gigabyte. The game versions you have to choose from are PS2 disc, PS3 download from the PSN store, PS3 disc, and use the PS2 disc in a PS3 that is backward compatible. Out of the ones I just listed, from fastest to slowest, it's Korean PSN download, PS3 disc Japanese, PS2 disc Japanese. If you want to know more about versions, you can check out my dear friend Swappi's guide. It's linked in the description. When it comes to console, the fastest console to run Slide 2 on is the fat PS3. This can be backward compatible or not, it does not matter. In summary, the fastest setup you can have for Slide 2 is a fat PS3, BC or not, doesn't matter, a SSD with high read and write, and the Slide 2 Korean PSN downloaded version from the PSN store. If you don't want to get this Korean version, or you might have a slim PS3 laying around, the most budget-friendly or common setup would be NTSC-U Slide 2 from the PSN store, aka the American one, slim PS3 and a good SSD. With the NTSC-U version, you have the option of using the HNS skip. And if you're wondering, a good SSD will get you far. If you stop speedrunning, you can just take it out and put it in your PC and you're good to go. If this got a little bit messy or I wasn't clear enough on some parts, feel free to shoot me a message on Discord, comment in the description here on YouTube, or ask me on stream. I will try to answer with the best of my knowledge. So now, time for me to answer some of the questions I might be receiving. For example, what is the HNS skip? Well, when you have an NTSC-U/American version of the game, you can change your system language to German or Italian. This will skip the health warning for every time you open the game, aka every time you reset. It will save a good amount of time, I think it's about 3 minutes to the whole game, not 100% sure. Shoot Gnist or someone a message, they will answer you. How do I get the Korean version? To acquire the Korean version of the game, you need to buy a Korean PSN account and a prepaid PSN card from Korea. You can find these on a site called OBT Game and card codes on Google. Just search for them and you will buy the account and then the prepaid cards. Set up the account and email and then buy the games. Just search for buy PSN account on Google and it will be the first one. Look for OBT Game and it will be there. Do I need the SSD, a fat PS3 and the Korean version? No. I might have answered this before, but you don't. You would only get this if you're really into the running part of the game at a high level. The setup I would recommend, as I just said, for people who wants to run the game or not go to the top of the leaderboard is the slim PS3, a SSD and NTSC version. Currently I'm running on a slim PS3, a SSD and the Korean version. In the next installment of my tutorial series I will show you how you start your run and do a settings walkthrough, the Bentley part, Murray part and Carmelita part of Cairo. And like Nis would say, thank you for watching, please like, subscribe and all that sellout stuff.